Hello, welcome back to Van TV Media, guys. If you're new, please just consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that in case we do upload any story, you'll be the first one to view. Thank you guys for those people who are assisting this channel to grow the way it is going now. We are going to USA, whereby Donald Trump risk impeachment. We've seen several motions have been applied to Donald Trump for impeachment, and we've seen some people reacting on the impeachment motion of Donald Trump, so that we have realized that Donald Trump is risking impeachment. However, there are so many allegations and there are so many things that Donald Trump has done to people of America. They were expecting something, but for now, they are receiving what they were not expecting from Donald Trump since he came into an office as the leader of United States. Just listen to these clips and we'll proceed on the story of Donald Trump impeachment motion.
Hello and welcome to Van TV Media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends to get daily updates.
This is absolutely horrific, and Trump should be impeached over it. Details have just emerged from the Trump administration that he had a plan to deport immigrants from the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, and even Mexico to Libya, a country still recovering from civil war, and a nation that literally has an open slave market that detained immigrants oftentimes end up getting sold into. But that's not even it. When these immigrants refuse to agree to deportation to the country that they've never been to before in their lives, ICE handcuffed them and placed them into solitary confinement. Is this the America that you really want?
Hey community, we're back with an exciting update. Following a recent May Day of action, over 500,000 people have signed on to impeach Trump again.
On May Day, we partnered with Citizens Impeachment for the National Day of Action, where we reached out to hundreds of thousands of grassroots supporters, calling on Congress to immediately impeach and remove Donald Trump from office.
Recent polling data from ASO Communications and Research Collaborative shows that just a few months into Trump's return to the White House, 52% of likely voters across the ideological spectrum somewhat or strongly support impeaching him, including 84% of Democrats, 55% of independents, and even 20% of his fellow Republicans.
16 members of Congress are now on the record in support of impeaching President Trump. Representative Al Green of Texas has pledged to introduce articles of impeachment, and on May 1st, Representative Sri Thanedar of Michigan introduced impeachment articles of his own.
Since Inauguration Day, our team of experienced and passionate constitutional lawyers has documented a growing list of abuses of power President Trump has already committed. In our last video, we shared these impeachable offenses, and since then, the list has grown significantly, some of which include illegal kidnapping, detention, and the unconstitutional removal of U.S. residents, migrants, and asylum seekers to foreign prisons, unlawfully attempting to deport immigrants for peacefully protesting, and planning the forced removal of Palestinians from Gaza.
As our campaign director, Alexandra Flores-Quilty, stated, it's up to Congress to do their job, defend the Constitution, and impeach and remove Donald Trump from office for his grave abuses of power.
Let's continue to build a community of Americans who believe in truth and justice, because we the people have the power. Sign the petition to immediately impeach and remove Trump at impeachtrumpagain.org and spread the word, because it takes...
Impeach Donald Trump, yes or no?
Yes.
So yes or no, impeach Donald Trump?
Of course. Yes.
Impeach Donald Trump, yes or no?
Oh, hell yes.
Impeach Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Impeach Donald Trump, yes or no?
I don't know if it's possible. I mean, they can try, but I believe that they should have been did this. I ain't gonna lie.
Donald Trump is now arresting a federal judge who disagrees with his immigration policy. Not only is this illegal, but it's happening at the same time that Donald Trump is defying a 9-0 court order. The law. It is at the same time that he's disappearing people without due process, a violation of the Constitution, a violation of the law. Make no mistake, Donald Trump is breaking the law, at the same time that he's breaking the law further by arresting federal judges. This is a complete and utter meltdown of the checks and balances that protect us from being an authoritarian regime. Now is the time, America. To be honest, of course, the time was a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, last November. But now, if you are not feeling with fervor the desire to defend your country, to defend the promise of what you can be, then you are no longer part of this American experiment. Call your senators, call your reps, knock on their doors at their offices, and only one word should be on our lips: impeach!
Donald Trump is far and away the most corrupt president in all of American history. He's a criminal. He's a convicted felon. He's an insurrectionist who tried to overthrow the republic so that he could stay in office illegally. More than any other president who has ever held that office, Donald Trump deserves to be impeached and removed from office and then prosecuted for his many, many crimes. And now we have the first articles of impeachment being filed against this piece of shit criminal. Let me read just a little bit. Here's a headline from The Hill. Michigan Democrat files articles of impeachment against Trump. Quote, I have introduced articles of impeachment against President Trump. When Trump ignores the Constitution, Congress, and the courts, he is not fighting for America. He is tearing it down and endangering our democracy. This from Congressman Shri Thanadar. Now, I don't expect these articles of impeachment to go anywhere. Democrats simply don't have the numbers, and the Republican Party is still too much of a cult. But Donald Trump, in addition to being a criminal, is the most unpopular president at this point in his presidency in a century. Donald Trump is horribly unpopular, historically unpopular. One poll has him at 39% approval. That is abysmal. And it's only going to get worse because he is also an incompetent buffoon who is destroying everything, including the economy, which unfortunately for most people in this country is the only thing that matters to them. They don't really give a damn about what happens unless it affects them in the pocketbook. And it is. And it's going to get worse. And people are beginning to wake up. We keep the pressure on. We take back both houses of Congress next year. Then we impeach him. We remove him. And we prosecute him.
Just today, 11 countries officially announced they will stop using the U.S. dollar for trade. And this could be just the beginning. Trump's relentless tariffs, sanctions, and reckless spending have weakened the dollar's strength. He may have once believed his policies would make America stronger, but now those very policies are pushing America out of the global financial spotlight. If the dollar loses its status as the global reserve currency, inflation will soar, prices will rise, and the purchasing power of ordinary Americans will decline. Your savings could lose value and your cost of living may skyrocket. Worse yet, the world is moving on without us. Countries once controlled by the dollar are now embracing their own currencies and stepping into the global trade arena with confidence. This shift isn't just about currency. It's about losing influence, losing power, and potentially losing our place in the world. How do you feel about the dollar's decline? Is it Trump's fault, or is this just the inevitable result of America's financial dominance fading away?
If you haven't already heard about it, listen up. Donald Trump has 7 articles of impeachment against him. Democratic House Representative of Michigan says that Donald Trump is unfit to serve as our president and is a clear and present threat to our Constitution and democracy. Some of those articles of impeachment are obstruction of justice, abuse of power, bribery, and corruption. I think we all can agree that Donald Trump has done so many impeachable offenses since he's been in office. It's about time that our Congress stepped up and did something. He's been making money off of his presidency. He's been ignoring federal courts. He's been doing everything necessary to be impeached. But what did you expect? You got a 34-count felon in office.
Oh yes, the way you've heard from people who are living right now in America, there are some of the things that are forcing them to do the impeachment to Donald Trump. People were expecting something, as I had told you, but what Donald Trump is doing to them is against on what they expected him, on what made them to put him in an office. These are some of the things. These are some of the things that Donald Trump has done to the people of America, so that they have decided to do what? To impeach him, to go home. One of the things that made Donald Trump to be impeached is that mass firing of Inspector General, whereby shortly after resuming office, President Trump dismisses 17 federal inspectors General without providing the legality acquired 30 days notice to Congress. This inspector serves as the independent watchdogs within federal agencies, and their draft removed are raised concern about the undermining oversight and accountability of mechanism. That is one that has made Trump to be impeached, to move away into an office. Number two is that pardoning January 6 rotters. On the inauguration day, Trump issued a pardon to individuals convicted of crimes related to the January 6 Capitol's insurrection. Critics urge that this move undermines the rules of law and could be seen as an abuse of the presidential pardon power. Number three, controversial statements on Gaza. That is the controversial statements that he gave out on Gaza. In February 2025, Trump suggested that the USA should take over the Gaza Strip amid ongoing conflict, a statement that drew sharp criticism. Representative Ehel Green's DTX announced plan to introduce article of impeachment accusing Trump of endorsing policies that amounted to ethnic cleansings. Number four, alleged emolument clause violation. Organizations like Free Speech for People allege Trump continues to profit from foreign government through his business holding. So these are some of the things that makes Trump to be impeached. Campaign finance and corruption allegation. Campaign finance and corruption allegation. During the 2024 election campaign, Trump faced accusation of violating campaign finance law. Accusation of campaign finance law, including offering regulatory favor in charge of donation and coordinating unlawfully with the super peer PACs. There are also claims of accepting illicit contribution through schemes linked to Elon Musk. Number six, public dissent and the 50-51 movement, grassroots movement known as 50-51 states. Protesters 50 states, 50 protesters, 50 states and one movement has organized national demonstration calling for Trump's impeachment. Number seven, declining public support. He declined public support. Polls indicates a growing segment of the American populace supporters impeachment. For instance, a survey Mercury audience polls from October 2025 found that 47% of adults forced impeachment compared to 30 opposed. These as factors collectively contribute to the mounting calls for the President Donald Trump. So President Donald Trump risk impeachment motion. You remember the first impeachment motion was done in 2019. That was the first impeachment of Donald Trump. That was the first when he was the president for the first time in 2019, and the same reason was the abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. And another impeachment was done in 2021. And the reason of that was incitement of insurrection. So Trump is under the impeachment, and most people in America are crying. Most people in America that are crying that there is no jobs. Trump is deporting people anyhowly. The policies that he has brought in America it's not favorite to the people of America, and that has made people to see that Trump is not the best leader. As you can see, most of the countries that were using dollars, even in Africa and the other countries in continents that were using dollars, have withdrawn, and that which has made dollar to go downwards. So Trump has made most things, the lives in America, to be difficult, and that has forced him to be impeached. So guys, just watch support our channel by subscribing to our channel, share to your friends and relatives, so that in case we do upload any story concerning America, concerning African, concerning the whole of the world, you'll be the first one to view, guys. And let us meet in the next episode.